Good morning, students. In my previous class, I have shown you that if I have a charge plus q, the field lines are outward from the charge q and coming out from the charge q, we can represent the field pattern like this way. And if we have a charge q, the total number of lines of force originating from the charge q is like this, q by epsilon 0. Now let us take q is equal to 1 coulomb. A question may be given like this, calculate number of lines of force emerging calculate the number of lines of force emerging from 1 coulomb charge. Calculate the number of lines of force emerging from 1 coulomb charge. Suppose I have charge plus q. How many numbers of lines of force emerging out from it? Q by epsilon 0. And if 1 coulomb charge is there, then number of lines of force emerging from q charge. Lines of force should be q by epsilon 0. And q is equal to 1. So if we keep 1 here, if we put here 1 and epsilon 0, you know value 8.854, 10 to the power minus 12. So what is the answer is coming? 1.13 into 10 to the power 11 will come. So calculate it, we will get 1.13 into 10 to the power 11. Now suppose we have in the previous class we have also discussed that suppose we have a area like this. This is suppose our area. If this is our area and suppose S vector should be perpendicular like this, that is area element is like this, so perpendicular to the area element is vector. And you know also electric field is also along same direction. Suppose I have kept the area in the electric field which is along the same direction, E vector. Then the total flux to the surface, that is total number of lines of force crossing the surface. I have told you flux is represented by the letter phi, is equals to electric field E, and surface, if I consider the surface as S, it is coming E into S, that we have discussed in the last class. Now so what is the definition of electric flux? The definition of electric flux we can write like this. Electric flux is represented by the letter phi. So we can write the electric flux like this: total number of electric lines of force, total number of electric lines of force passing through the surface normally is called flux through the surface. Okay, that means the lines of force, these field lines passing through the surface normally, this is called flux through the surface. Now I want to discuss a very important thing here. Can you tell me, suppose I have kept the area like this, okay, in the flow of water. That means suppose flow of water from left side to right side. That means we can think like this. Suppose I have kept the book here, and suppose flow of kept the book normally and flow of water is like this. So remember it, if I kept the area normally and flow of water is like this, then maximum water will pass through the area. If I kept the area by making some angle, then what happened? Flow of water will be less. Suppose flow of water is along this direction, in this direction flow of water, and I have kept the area parallel to the flow of water, then any water will pass through the area. Your answer should be no, any water does not pass through the area. Flux is also like this. If I keep the area like this, then you will be able to see what, if I keep the area normally to the flow of water, then whole water will pass through. That means flux will be maximum. If I keep the area making some angle, flux will decrease, but it will not zero. But if we keep the area like this way, that means keep the area parallel to the flow of water, then what happened? No flux will enter into it. That means flow of water will become no flux will enter into it, that means flux becomes 0. And you know everybody that if I kept a area vector should be always normal, that means if area vector will be normal to that, flow of water also normal. So area vector and flow of water angle 0, that means if area vector full flow of water angle is 0, then flux is maximum, or area kept perpendicular to the flow of water, then flux is maximum. But if the area kept parallel to the flow of water, or area vector should be like this and flow of water like this, so area vector and flow of water makes an angle 90 degree, in that case what happen, flux will be 0 or flux will be minimum. Let us do this flux by calculation. I want to prove this also. Now what is this? Now see that I am to prove it, I am considering a arbitrary surface like this. Okay, I am considering a arbitrary surface. Okay, arbitrary surface like this. Please don't consider it surface like this. I am taking a area element over it. So area vector should be perpendicular to the surface. So this is the direction of area vector. And we know electric field vectors are, we can represent like this. So electric field vector like this way we can represent. Now everybody see that E vector and ds vector makes an angle how much? Makes an angle theta. So as E vector and ds vector makes an angle theta, so what happened? E vector and ds vector makes an angle, how much angle made by E vector and ds vector? Makes an angle theta in that case. When E and ds angle 0 degree, then E and ds should be flux. But if they are makes an angle theta, then what should be the flux? Flux d phi. Then in that case total flux is phi. Total flux to the surface S is phi. Now flux to ds should be d phi. So it should be equal to E ds cos theta. Why it is E ds cos theta? You know that flux means number of lines of force passing through the surface normally. So we have to take the component of electric vector along ds vector, and the component of electric vector along ds vector as theta attached component should be always cos theta. That means E can be resolved in two component. One should be E sin theta, E cos theta. Which one is theta attached? Along the ds, if I take a component, that is theta attached component. And you know everyone, theta of attached component should be cos theta. So E cos theta is the component of electric field vector along ds. So to calculate the electric flux, we must have to multiply E cos theta into ds. So d phi will come E cos theta ds. We can write it at E dot ds. E dot ds, this is the definition of dot product. Dot product means what? You can remember this, that is we have read in class 11 that dot product means A dot B equals to AB cos theta. That two vector multiply, we are getting a scalar. So that dot product have another name, that is called scalar product. And also you know that suppose if two vector multiply, we are getting a vector quantity. This is called what? This is called vector product. But two vector multiplied, we are getting a scalar quantity. This is called scalar product, dot product. If two vector multiplied, we are getting a vector quantity. This is called vector product or cross product. And this is the definition of dot product. Dot A dot B equals to AB cos theta. So d phi can be written at E dot ds. Now total flux to the surface. This is the flux to the surface ds. How many number of lines of force passing normally through ds? That I have calculated. Now what is the amount of lines of force passing through the total surfaces normally? So we have to take surface integration. So it is coming surface integration E dot ds. This is the total number of lines of force passing through the surface normally. Now we want to do another calculation here. That is, the calculation is like this. Suppose we want to do another calculation here. The calculation is, I have already calculated that phi equals to surface integration E dot ds, and E dot ds, you know that we can write it E ds cos theta. Now everybody knows that suppose I am taking theta equals to 0 degree. If theta equals to 0 degree, that is phi equals to what? Phi will be maximum, phi max, because if the cos 0 value is 1 is equal to E dot ds. This is phi will be maximum. And if E is constant or uniform, E is coming out of integration, it will coming d surface integration ds and total surface s, so es, this is coming phi max. And you know everyone, this is phi max. But if theta equals to 90 degree, then what happened, phi is become, you know that surface integration E ds cos 90, and we know that value of cos 90 is how much, value of cos 90 is 0, so it will come 0. That means if theta equals to 90 degree, that is electric field vector makes an angle 90 degree with the surface area, in that case flux 0. Or we can tell that electric field vector electric field vector and the surface area are parallel to each other, that we have discussed by taking book, then flux 0. Or if the electric field vector, angle between electric field vector E vector and ds vector is 0, that means electric field vector is perpendicular to the area element, that I have told you that electric field vector is perpendicular, or flow of water is perpendicular to the area element, that I have told you. Or vector is but if I consider electric field vector is parallel to ds vector. In that case I can tell what, I can tell that flux is become maximum and flux is equal to Es. Okay, so by this way we can define electric flux. And now I want to write what is the unit of electric flux. You know that phi equals to E into S, and we already have that F equals to QE. So from this we can write E equals to F by Q. So F by Q means F has the unit Newton and this is Coulomb inverse. So electric field unit, what is the unit of electric field? Newton Coulomb inverse, and this is meter square. So phi have the unit Newton Coulomb inverse and S has the unit meter square. So phi has the unit Newton meter square Coulomb to the power -1. And now my question is that what is the dimension of phi? Phi is equals to, you know, Fs. F means E by Q, phi is equals to Es. E means F by Q into S. Now F by Q into S, so it is coming, F means force, mLT to the power -2. S means area, so it should be L square. And Q I can write I into T, because I equals to Q by T. So Q, in place of Q I can write I into T. I has the unit within square bracket A and time T. So by calculation it will come M L cube T to the power -3 A inverse. Thank you everyone.